have we been up to in discussing?
Okay, before you came on board, we were just doing some initial introductions. And Fidelia introduced herself, talked about what she's been up to over the years, and then I just finished talking about myself as well. So yeah.
Okay, great. That's good. There are just a few people left in the main room, in the waiting room. So I don't think, given that the time has gone, so that we don't need to delay anymore, I think we can make progress. I don't know, Fidela, can you just check the waiting room? I want to know whether we should wait a couple more minutes or we should just go ahead. Nice. I know Uncle Kola is assigning most people. All right, so we'll be starting right away, and let me try and project my screen so that we can get started. Okay, Uncle Kola.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just wanted to know whether there are still a lot of people left in the waiting room.
I have about 30 people that are unassigned, but you can just start with the class.
We can start. All
and
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start then. I can go over again for those that join us later. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Auntie Fidelia. All right. So let me project my screen, and so that there are no interruption. Thank you. I think everybody has already muted their screen, their microphones, so that will not interrupt us, and we can get started. Cool. Share my screen in 10 seconds.
Uncle Ayo?
Yes, please.
Yeah, would you want to share with us how the session will go? Can they raise their hands to ask questions? Should they send questions in the chat box? Maybe that ground rule also help.
Thank you. Yeah. So incidentally, that is slide number 2 you'll be seeing on the ground rules. So good evening, everybody again. Welcome to the Teenpreneur class, which is a beginner class on business and teenpreneurship for Navigate 2020. It will be a very enjoyable session. I'm very glad and happy to be with everybody here. I believe we'll all learn together, and I look forward to having a very exciting time. So quickly, as Auntie Fidelia mentioned, what are our ground rules? It's business, so it has to be an interactive class. I don't think there's any market you go to that you will see it's quiet. Even if you're not hearing anything, maybe it's like a stock exchange market, the computers are busy whiling. So it would be nice for it to be interactive. We are all here to learn from each other. So I want it to be interactive. You can bring in your comments, your questions and answers. That is not a problem. As much as possible, why we want it interactive, try to focus on the discussion that we are having. So all the comments, questions, discussion, try to make it focused here. It's a very good time we will have. We can gist, but please try to make it focused on what we are discussing. If you want to raise any question, the easy way you can do it is to just type it in the question and answer. I believe we have that feature here. Or just send a chat. The Auntie Fidelia and Uncle Okwe are here. They will pick up the question and answers. And in case I miss anything, they can bring it to my attention so that intermittently I will stop to answer questions that you may have. So just feel free to drop any question. If there's something you want to be clarified, please feel free to ask so that we are sure that we are actually learning from each other and achieving the purpose of the class. So being that as it may, there's no question that is stupid, except you just want to be naughty. So any question you don't understand, any item you want me to clarify, or you just want to raise, you learn about something and you want everybody to benefit from it, it's very interesting, please post it. So because of that, I will ask us to be respectful and tolerant of everybody. So please, we are all coming from different backgrounds, from different parts of the world. The use of language in one part of the world might be different from another. So let's be tolerant, be patient. And this is actually part of what you learn in an international environment. We all want to learn about business, we want to grow very big businesses. I'm an advocate to telling you that dream big, think global, look at the world. You can conquer the entire world from wherever you are. I'm an advocate of that. And part of what you learn in dealing in an international environment is learning to tolerate people, learning to be patient, learn from other people. Try to look at it from their own perspective. Let me give you an example. I'm sure you guys know about tipping. So tipping is when you go to a restaurant after you've eaten, you know, those fine dining restaurants. Unfortunately, I'm sure nobody has gone in the last 6 months because of coronavirus. Well, by God's grace, this will be over very soon. So you go to a restaurant. I'm not talking about in Nigeria, Sweet Sensation or Tasty Fried Chicken. No, I'm looking at a proper restaurant, fine dining, where you use fork and knife to eat. Very well laid out restaurant ambience. If you're in New York, after your bill, you've paid for your bill, it is expected that you give a tip to the waiter. That is part of the culture. When you don't do it, you seem to be like a miser. It actually seems like you are rude. You are not respecting the people that served you. That is in New York. If you do the same thing in Singapore, if you give a tip in Singapore, it's taken like a bribe, and they might even jail you for it. So that's different cultures, the same thing in different cultures. So that makes you understand that you have to learn to tolerate people, learn about people's culture. And even we've actually started learning in the class, and that is it. If you are thinking about selling or doing a business, you must learn from the perspective of the people you are interacting with. And this is very critical. The final key ground rule, everything we'll be discussing is towards ethical and law-abiding businesses. So that is the focus for the class. We are not here to discuss Hush Puppy, except I bring it up. No Yahoo Yahoo boys, that's internet fraudsters. We are here to discuss how do you do a proper business. It starts a good business that is law-abiding, that is ethical, and that is the focus of the class. So having said that, we can go ahead. If there are any questions, do you have any questions on that? Any comments? You can drop that. All right. So why are we here? What's really the focus of Teenpreneurship? When you were joining the class, I'm sure you had an idea in your mind. What were you trying to achieve? I will try to go over what was advertised, and so that we are sure that you're in the right class. I'm sure everybody should be here, but just help us to know what we are discussing in the next 4 weeks. Is about businesses and entrepreneurship. So it's a beginner class. Assuming you don't know anything about business, we'll try to make it understandable. Talking about business entrepreneurship, what goes into starting a business, how to run a business, why do people do business, why do you want to do a business, and the way to go about it properly. Even identifying the right business opportunities, right? How do you know whether this is when to start or not? What are all the foundational steps you need to go through? That's part of what we'll be discussing. Execution, knowing how to actually run with that idea. So you have an idea of making money. So what do you do? How do you start? How do you integrate that into everything you are doing? Right now, a lot of you are still schooling, or maybe you're just leaving school, or you're just about to go to school, or you're stuck at home and you're thinking about an idea on how to make money. How do you make that happen? Then even the science of money. So money, there's a science around money. Understanding what money is, how to make money in itself, how to I've heard people talk about raising capital, that's one of the key things they want to do. How do you start with very little or no capital? How do you raise capital? Then the final key rung we will climb is how to sell like a pro, which is very critical in businesses. So that lays out what we'll be doing for the next 4 weeks. As I said, I like the class to be interactive. Let's respect each other. Let's try to keep to the focus of the day. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. You can raise your hand. I believe there's a way to raise your hand there, if I'm not wrong. You can raise your hand. You can signal me if there's something you want me to clarify. I want it to be very interactive. So please, let's make it a wonderful time for the next 4 weeks. All right. So I've said a little bit, and quickly we will go into what is the focus for today. So what are we thinking about today? What will we be doing today? All right. So I'm sure you already know about my profile. I work in a bank. I've done finance for a bit. A bit I didn't say is that, okay, when I was a teenager, my mom had a pharmacy store. So I learned also how businesses are started in that pharmacy store. We moved from the inner city to the outer city. So I live in Lagos, Nigeria. So there are some places that are outskirts. And from there, living in the outskirts, my mom started like 3 different businesses that catered for the environment. So I started learning how you can, within your opportunity, where you are, be able to identify opportunities and be able to start the business. So that's who I am. All right. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. If there is any issue, please let me know. Hope you can hear me clearly. Can you just let me know? Just send the chats. Can you hear me clearly? Yes, no? Okay. All right. Thank you. I just want to be sure that you can hear me clearly. All right. Thank you very much. I think there's somebody that sent a comment. She wants, she's not been able to access theater arts. Uncle Okwe, please, if you can help Tomisin, and that's her name in bracket is creative theater art. I think she wants to be able to access theater arts, so we can get Uncle Kola to reassign her to theater arts. All right, thank you. So please do give feedback. Because I'm talking, I might not be able to respond immediately. So if you check the chat room, you'll see the co-host. There's Fidelia, Auntie Fidelia, and Uncle Okwe. Just send them a private chat so that they can respond to you. In case, I'm focused on talking and I might not see the chat immediately. So please just send those comments. All right, quickly, let's start with the first poll. I wish we were able to do this properly, but unfortunately, because there are other breakout rooms, we will not be able to do a live poll, but we will just improvise anyway. So I want us all to see each other and know each other. Who are the people in the room? Let's start with that. So I've talked about myself. In a general term, I want us to know the profile of the people in this room. So the first question, let's know who is here. So please, I want you to drop this as A, B, C, D, E in the chat room. Why are you attending this class? A, making money. Money, 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 money. B, you want to be financially free. You want to be your own boss, independent. You don't want to be answering anybody. You've looked at your parents, uncle, and the way they wake up early in the morning, 5 a.m., they disappear, come back 10 p.m., you only see them at weekends. So because of that, you want to be your own boss. C, you have wonderful ideas and you are just thinking, why is nobody doing this thing? I want to be the one doing it. D, your parents told you to come into the Teenpreneur class. E, you are just curious. So A, B, C, D, E. Oh yeah, let's drop the comments. Why are you attending Teenpreneur class? And if you also want to add any comments, anything you would like us to learn or know about, why are you attending Teenpreneur class? Let me see. Are you dropping the comments? So A is just because you want to make money. B is because you want to be financially free. C is you want to implement your own ideas. D is your parents. And E is because you are just curious. All right, so I hope everybody has dropped a chat. As I said, remember this class is interactive and I have the prerogative of calling people that refuse to participate. So I can see different comments here. There are combination of different comments, A and B, A and D, B and C, B, D, E, C, A and C, mostly A, partly A. All right, okay, very interesting one. So if you have any requests, please send it. All right, B and C and all of that. Interesting. All right, cool. So the very next question, let's take the next question. What stage are you in your business plans? What stage are you in your business plans? So let's look at what that is. What stage are you in your business? Is it still just an idea? Is all your Amazon big business, is it still just in your head? Have you started? Just starting the business? Are you already running a business or none of the above? You must fall into one of these categories. So you can't be 0 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are you? Where are you regarding business? Do you have an idea? Or if you don't have any idea at all, then you're in 4. That means you want to learn how to get an idea. Are you just starting? Maybe even if it's as simple as you've sold just one item, or you've already started, what did I say? Maybe it's a website. You started building the website. That means you're just starting. Are you already running it? There are some people that are already making money. I think there's somebody here that is already selling bags, fashion bags. Or I've seen a couple of teenagers also that are selling clothes, that do branded items and are doing that. So what stage are you? 1, 2, 3, 4. And if there's any other category that is not yet, please put it also in the comments. Let's see. What stage of business are you? And I think there are also some other people that are here that because of career, just to also be able to know whether what they should be doing is to run a business or what they should be doing is to go after a career. All right, so somebody says, I'm running a business, Eniola, and I want to know more of what to do. Very good. I'm sure you'll learn. I see some other comments. I want to just read some of the comments. So I am following, because I was presenting, I couldn't see it at that time. So somebody said, I tried a business, but it crashed. Very, very good comments. I can't remember the statistic. I like numbers. You guys will have seen it. I work in a bank, so I like making money and managing money. There's a statistics that says that, I can't remember, but I think it's 1 out of every 6 business that is started will fail within the first 3 years. 1 out of every 6 businesses will fail within the first 6 years. And why do they fail? We will answer those questions here so that you understand how to go about your business properly so that it doesn't fail. Within the first 5 years, I think it's about 1 out of every 8 small business will fail. So there's a very high failure rate for businesses. So why do they fail? How do you stop when you are trying to do a business from failing? How do you succeed with your business? All of those things we will answer. So the very first point, what do we think about this? So I said everything begins with an idea. Everything. Think about it. Everything around you. The phone you are using to view this, or is it your laptop, your television, even the house you're living in, your biro, anything around you, just think around it. Everything, including you yourself, you started as an idea in God's mind. Everything that you can see around you starts as an idea. Around I can see books. My laptop is on a table. I'm wearing a yellow vest. Just think around. Look at everything around you. Anything you can imagine. Everything starts with an idea, and that light bulb moment is very critical in business. So if everything starts with an idea, that makes you to understand how critical and important ideas are in business. How critical, how important ideas are in business. So if everything starts with an idea, thoughts and information are very powerful. Your thoughts, what you're thinking about, how you think, the information around you is very important. That is the foundation of any business. So think about it. Look at the biggest businesses that you. What do you think? Think about the most popular businesses you know. Any of those business, Facebook, remember, if you know the story of Facebook started in the dormitory of when Mark Zuckerberg and his friend were in Harvard, and they were just thinking about, okay, let's just think about this thing. Can you imagine? And how many times have you heard that people have said that, can you imagine this? So when you use that word, imagination. So imagination is creating images in your mind. That is how businesses start, they are built, and they grow. So that is why thoughts are very powerful. And so what goes into your thoughts is the information you have. What you know determines how far or to the extent of how big your businesses can spread. And I want you to just pause and think about that for a moment and write it down. I said that everything starts with an idea. Everything begins with an idea. Thoughts are powerful and information is important. So that is critical in everything you want to know. That is why for you as a business person, and I'm speaking that way because I believe all of us are CEOs of your business, whether it's just an idea in your mind or you don't even know about the idea yet. For you as a person, what you know is very critical. The information you're exposed to is very, very important. The way you think, that's important. That's why you have to protect your brain. You don't allow junk to go into your brain, because you guys know the computer adage, although I don't know whether they use it so much nowadays, but it's still a fundamental law. Garbage in, garbage out. Is what goes in that comes out in one form. So the idea you want to execute depends on the information that you have. So you need to start thinking about it. What idea do I have? What am I thinking about? What information do I have access to? I want you guys to start thinking about that, because that is what will determine what kind of businesses you can build. So sorry, I'm just trying to pick something to show you guys, but that takes us to the next critical discussion is that, so if that is important, and I want you now to start thinking about, and one of the things you do about ideas is that ideas are the rawest form of your business. So even though it is just in your mind, you've actually started having a business, and you have to start making sure you take your ideas seriously. You have to write it down. One of the things you do very well is that you document as a business person. And you hear me talking about this thing, that you have to write your ideas down. So if that is important, what do you think makes up the foundation of a sustainable business idea? I want you guys to suggest it. So what do you think? I want suggestions. I want comments. What do you think makes up the foundation of a sustainable business idea? So I've tried to explain it, but I want to see whether you guys have been able to capture the thoughts. Based on what I've discussed, I've talked about ideas is important, your thoughts is important. What do you think are the foundation or makes up the foundation of a sustainable business idea? All right, so I've already
Hi,
jumped.
Uncle Ayo.
Yes.
Uncle Ayo.
Yeah.
Please, can you go to the previous slide? I have a question.
Okay.
The slide about information.
Information. Just a second. Let me go there. This?
I don't know. I think it's still changing. Yes, exactly. So information is important. A number of us have tried businesses and it failed.
Yeah.
And before we went into these businesses, we got all sorts of information. And if we look around us, the internet, people who are running businesses, there are lots of information here and there. So how do we sieve the loads of information? How do we get the right information that can help us take the right decision? I believe that this will feed into this last question that we are all responding to now. How do we sieve the wheat from the chaff so that we can build on the right information?
Very interesting. And I think it's an interesting question, and it's a live question, because just think about it. How many of you have heard about the conspiracy theory? Some people say that COVID is not real. Some people say that it is caused by 5G. What else have we said? Some people said it is targeted. Some people said it cannot survive in Africa. How do you know what is real from what is not real? That's a very interesting question. And I think it's important to always think about that. And that is, okay, thank you, Tari. Somebody said orange juice can cure it. Interesting. So when you think about all those things, some people may have the right information but may not apply it correctly. That is correct. I think where Auntie Fidelia was even asking is that, how do you know what is right from what is wrong? How do you actually know what is the right information in any field you want to go? So you have an idea. Let's take it for example. I'm trying to think of an obscure country. Can anybody think of an obscure country that I'm sure nobody has gone yet?
Grenada.
Grenada, yeah.
Yes.
Latvia. Who has been to Latvia? Or Malta? Cyprus. Some people might have probably even gone to Cyprus because it's an island that a lot of people go for holiday if you're not going to Greece. So you've never been there, and they tell you there's this country, this is what they do. How do you believe it? All of what you come to know, somebody said Syria. Yeah, because of the war that is going on in Syria. True. But Syria used to be a very beautiful place before. Unfortunately, they are going through the war now. All right, I digress. But how do you know to believe what is the proper information. One of the things you have to acquire as a business person is to have a critical and analytical mindset. So I'll say that again. Have a critical and analytical mindset. I always like to talk in logic and talk about, that's why you heard me talk about statistics when I told you that by the age of 5, so by the age of 5 is saying that you started the business in year 2020. By 2025, or based on statistics, businesses that are started in 2020, by 2025, based on the statistic of the past, 80% of those businesses will have failed. When you hear about that, what comes to your mind? That tells you that, okay, perhaps becoming success in business is luck. You know now, you just say, just play luck, give you a chance to succeed. Okay, maybe. What else makes people to succeed in business? Then that makes you to start studying, okay, the businesses that failed, why do they fail? You try to study that. Then you look at it, the businesses that succeed, why do they succeed? And one of the things you now start finding out is that there are principles for success and there are reasons for not succeeding. So,
Sorry, Pastor Ayo, are we good? Someone asked for help.
okay, yes, thank you. Opo Fidelia, please, can you help me? I'm not sure I can.
No, we've sorted it. It's progress. She's meant to be in social media marketing. We told her to sign out and sign in again, but she hasn't come back to this group. So if you can help us check whether she's gotten into that group now.
Okay, great.
Progress, Evo.
Yeah, sorted. I sorted that.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so you think about it, and thanks, Eniola and Florence. You do a lot of research, absolutely. That is part of what I'm saying. You gather a lot of information, but then you ask questions. Ask questions. Keep on asking questions. One of my mentors, he says something that, and maybe I'll bring up the blackboard so I can be typing and you guys can see some of the comments I'm saying. Just give me 1 second because I don't want you guys to miss some of the points of what I'm mentioning. One of my mentors says something. It says, assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. Right? You guys look at this. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. You understand what that means? You've never heard about something, you just assume, no, this is what I think, without any knowledge. That is assumption. So that's the lowest form. Then you start acquiring information. When you acquire information, now you have Google to be able to search different things. You talk to people that are experts, and that is why we go to school. Going to school makes them to certify whether you've qualified in a particular field. What class are you? Whether you're in the uni, you're in the college, or you're still in the secondary school or high school, the level you are is because of the level of knowledge you have. Of course, it's because you're going through a system. And after you go through every level, that's why you do an examination. That examination is saying that you have the knowledge of that past stage. So part of what you do is that when you want to learn, you look at, okay, who are the experts? Who are the true experts that know in this field? That's why I told you guys, you saw my profile in the beginning. I've done a bit, I've done some certification. I work in a number of places. I've advised certain people, and that at least shows that I have some experience there. So it's critical that you learn, you acquire information, and that will be one of the very fundamental things you hear a lot from this class. Acquire information. I won't want to say something that I've read somewhere, but I think I'll mention it so that you guys know. How many of you when you get a phone, or I'm sure maybe not everybody has a phone, or you get a toy or a device and you read the manual from cover to cover. I'm sure not a lot of us, right? Why? We assume. You assume, I know it, what's the big deal? I can figure it out. It's true, you can figure it out. Yeah. You might be able to figure it out. But think about it. The manufacturer might have included an upgrade in that particular version you had that was not on your friend zone. And by mistakenly pressing the combination of some buttons, you destroy that equipment. What have you done? Assumption. You assume that my friend got this thing last week. My dad just bought it for me. It's the same thing now. I used it for my friend. Why do I need to read the manual? There's no need to read the manual. I'm not telling you guys I read all the manuals too, but I'm trying to make it you understand how practicable this is. That when you assume, you open the door for error. So acquiring information from the right source is important. The next thing is having a critical mind and an analytical mindset. So what is that? Critical and analytical. Sorry, that's the double L. What does that mean? Asking questions, analyzing. Okay, if this happened this way, why did it happen that way? Okay, why? They say small businesses fail within the first 5 years. Why do they fail? Is it because they didn't have much information? Is it because of capital? Okay, but I know this my friend's uncle's business that succeeded. Why did he succeed? You think about it, but then you go and find a way to ask the person, why did you succeed? You start building knowledge. Avoid assumptions. Acquire a critical and analytical mindset. Get information from the right sources. That is very critical. And you see that as we go along. So I think that will answer that question. And somebody had said it. Imagination, concentration, yes, it's critical when you are doing a business. You need to make sure that you are focused. No assumptions. Trust me, you don't succeed on assumptions, right? If there's anything, please, you guys ask questions. Stop me. I want to get your feedback. Somebody is asking, how can I be independent from my parents without relying on everything I need? I hope we'll be able to finally answer it as you go along, because part of what we are going to learn is how do you get good ideas? All right. So I've talked about, and I want us to quickly run through it, because there are a couple of things we still need to take out from today. I asked about what is the foundation of sustainable business ideas, and thank you. I've seen some comments. Acquiring the information. I've mentioned having a critical mindset. What other points do you guys think? And let me check this right now. So let me share it, and so that we move along fast. All right, so we stopped here. Thoughts are powerful, information is important. And what is the next point? I was asking about what do you guys think about the foundation of proper businesses? Foundation of proper businesses. Let me tell you guys, based on what I've already said, I've told you that ideas are important. Your thoughts are important. So no matter how little you think that idea is important. So you start saying that now, encapsulating that, the big foundation is the mind that God has given to you, your brain. That brain that you have is a big deal. It's the biggest, one of the biggest gifts that God has given to you. I think Artificial is a bit in the medical field. At least based on the knowledge I know, I think what's the statistic now? Now, look, I am doing my field is finance, accounting, but I'm knowing a number of this information because it's important in the way I live and how to succeed and make money. I know that, and I might be wrong, but I'm sure I'm close to the correct answer. But based on what I've read, I hear that 1/3 of your blood flows through your brain. Because your brain is that supercomputer that is controlling you. So that is why behind a business idea or running your business or becoming a successful entrepreneur is in your brain, this super tool that God has given you. So before your brain, what are the critical things to have? The first thing is perspective. What is perspective? Perspective is an attitude. What's your general outlook to life? Are you positively minded? Do you generally look for the things that will not work? Or are you looking for the way that they can work? Do you believe in possibilities? You know, I'm sure you guys have some friends that all they always just do is that, no, forget it, that thing cannot work. That's having, what's the mindset now? I've forgotten that mindset. These guys they're doubters. Is that the way you always think?
They're pessimistic.
They are pessimistic. They are cynics. If you always look at life that, no, it cannot work, then you will not see the opportunity when it will work. Let me give you guys a simple example, at least that I know. And I'll start dropping those examples so that you guys know. They talked about, I'm sure almost everybody on this call, at least the majority of us, live in Nigeria. And we know about the telecoms. You know about mobile phones, the telecom operators that provide them service. We know about them, and they started about just 20 years ago. And the biggest one of them, MTN, who is also the biggest in Nigeria and across most countries in Africa, when they came to Nigeria initially, and that was just after the military rule in Nigeria. The soldiers were in control of the country and they were just handing over to a president. At that time, a lot of people did not want to come to Nigeria to do business. The same way that you look at Syria today, there is a war zone, or Afghanistan, that no, God forbid, why will I go to an Afghanistan to do business? Everybody wants to go to the US or Canada or UK or Germany. You understand? Somebody say, why would I go to Afghanistan? What kind of business can I do there? But what happened was that the guys that run MTN, they were in South Africa. And for 1 year, before they did anything at all, they just came to Nigeria and they were just observing. They were just looking at what's going on here. How do they do business? If they say good morning, what does good morning mean? You remember what I've explained, that somebody give a tip in New York is different from giving a tip in Singapore. And that was what they were just learning. How do they do business here? If they say, come tomorrow morning, what does that actually mean? You know, in some cultures, if they tell you, please come next week, they are being polite and telling you, don't come back at all again. So that is acquiring information. One of their biggest competitors, I believe it was Vodafone, those ones just said, no, Nigeria, no, forget them. What good can come out of that country? And they didn't come. But MTN came and they stayed for just 1 year before they bought anything, before they paid for anything. They had the idea, like we are all getting ideas, that this thing can probably work. This is a big country. We should be able to sell something here. And that's one thing you know your market. So they came and they were just observing, making friends, learning. And from there, they now understood the right way to go about the business. And that's another thing that answers a lot of the questions about why do businesses fail. It starts from perspective. I've talked about one of the telecoms that didn't come at all. So not attempting at all is failure. to ideas, to information. How much information do you actually have? So I've seen a number of teenagers have come to me, and it's very simple. A lot of people want to do clothing line because it seems to be that very easy idea to do. You guys, everybody likes fashion. I'll just do a clothing line. I'll print t-shirts, hoodies, and put a brand on it, and I will sell. Why should it succeed? That is the question you have to keep on asking yourself. I have this idea. Why should it succeed? It's good to be optimistic, but beyond optimism, being optimistic is believing that something positive will happen, something good will happen. Yes, it is good. But beyond that, what is the fact? What is the information backing that idea? Why should I buy a t-shirt from you instead of buying it from one of the popular brands? For example, I'm wearing, I believe it's a polo. Yeah, it's a polo vest. I'm wearing this one now. It's a known brand. And a teenager comes and says he wants to do a clothing line and he does his own brand. Why should I buy from you? If you cannot answer those questions, and one of the things I'll tell you guys is that don't using pity, yes, that's, wanting people to pity you that just because I'm a teenager, please now, just buy from me. Pity is not a business strategy. Using pity is not a business strategy. Does Facebook or Instagram beg you to use it? No. Why are you on TikTok? Did they beg you and say, please now, just try it? Did they? No. There's a reason. They found that there's something in you that wants to show yourself. And then they created a platform for you to do that. And they don't need to beg you. So that is one of the ways that you make sure you get into businesses to succeed. These are the foundation of sustainable business. Remember what I said about having a critical and analytical mindset. And that is one of the skills in starting and building a business and implementing your business idea. Your mind, you need to learn how to use your mind properly. Your mind is too powerful, it's too valuable for you to just let it be run by junk. You have to acquire those proper skills, and it starts from a critical and analytical mindset. There are several other skills. You hear about managing money, marketing, accounting, strategy, but the first thing is your mind. Are you training your mind to be critical and analytical? And finally, let your business be law abiding. When you try to run around the law, it will catch up one day. So you're starting with that. Those are the foundation, or what contributes to the foundation of sustainable business.
Hi, Uncle Ayo. Another question.
Yes, please.
So how do we build a critical and analytical mindset? It's the mind here. How do I sharpen that skill? Do I have it naturally? Do I have to read a book? Do I go for training? Is it mentoring? It's not something that is picked from the streets. Could you shed more light on that?
Yeah. So important. Thank you, Auntie Fidelia. So how do you get it? Like every other thing that we know. So for example, let's think about singing. For the life of me, I can try my best, but I can't sing as good as some people that are gifted. So for some people, it might be a gift. They just have it naturally, have to critically think. But even they need to develop it, because one of the things you learn is that your gift does not become a skill until it is developed. So that's for even people that have the gift. Even if you don't have the gift, like myself, even if I can't sing, I can be trained to sing. so that when I'm singing, I don't destroy people's eardrums. I'm sure you know some people that when they sing, you just like, guy, stop it, stop it. It's because they've not gone through any training at all. So what do? Part of it is reading, and reading wide. Asking questions. Remember what I said about asking questions? You must ask. Keep on asking. I have one of my former boss. If you tell him something, your parents, let me give an example. They tell you to go and buy something, or let me quickly get something, and then you come back and they ask, why did you not bring this back at this time? And you give a reason. That my former boss, like you met, will say, and why did you do this? And why? And why? The reality is that by the time you come to it, what you think is just the reason that, oh, I could not quickly get back because traffic, there was traffic. By the time you ask more questions and ask more questions, you come back to look at it and say, okay, it's probably because I did not actually plan well. So in asking questions, you learn. In acquiring information, looking at the people that have it and learning from them, observing people that actually have it, you learn. The internet is available nowadays to enable us even acquire any of these skills easily. Search. Just do Google. How do I get a critical mindset? As simple as that. Almost any information now is available. But part of what I'm giving you is that I'm pointing you in the right direction on how to get those skills. So that's information. Acquire information. Learn from those that have it. Ask questions. No assumptions. That's how you start acquiring that. You get it. All right. Thank you, Auntie Fidelia, for that. So let me see. Do you guys have any questions, any comments? I think you guys are. Yep. Thanks for those that are chatting. Thank you. Please do stop me anytime you have any questions so that we.
Hello, my brother.
Yes, please.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well.
Well done.
Thank
Good
you.
perspective. I've actually learned a lot. Well done so much.
Thank you.
I mean, a thought just popped up in my head about, okay, I'm a skilled technician. I'm a multi-skilled technician, for instance.
Yeah.
And I knew earlier on in life that I wasn't fit into like the professional world, like the guys that put on ties and go to work out from 9 a.m. then shut down 6 p.m. or whatever. I knew that earlier on in life. So I quickly picked up skills, you know. And I don't know if it's in line with what we are discussing. I know I came in late. I'm really sorry if I'm bumping into anything.
Okay.
Can I go on?
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that's part of what we are discussing, to know fit. And that was one of the questions we started with at first, on why do you actually even are thinking of business? Is it because you want to be your own boss or not? And in answering that question is also critically analyzing yourself, thinking about it, that will I fit in this kind of place? Because one of the things you guys also have to know is that, and we will deal with this a lot in week 3 and week 4, you as you are, even if you are working in a bank or you are working in a hospital as a doctor, you are a business as you are. So there's something called Me Incorporated, and you guys can search that. Let me see if I can type that on whiteboard so that we have it. Yeah, so where is it? Where is my... So search for this, Me Incorporated. What that is saying is that you as a person, you are a business. And if you understand that, even if you don't start a business for yourself, it will help you to learn to manage yourself properly as a professional. So assuming you want to be an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a social activist, managing yourself like a business will help you succeed a lot more better than your competition. So all of the skills are applicable also for you as a person, even if you're not running a business. All right, so let's move quickly to the next point. I think we have a case study that I want us to look at. Well, our time is almost gone. Everybody is in the class now, so we can move quickly. So I've talked about the foundation of sustainable business. I'm sure you guys have that. All right, so what is our next point? Yeah, I love this case study. Very interesting case study, and there are a lot of points to learn from this. So there's this young chap called Corey Naves, age 15 years old, which is about the age of everybody on this chat group, except for me. Damn, I'm as young, I'm young too, I'm not that old. So Corey, what happened to him? Corey is actually, and this is not a fable, this is a life story. So you guys can Google this. I've actually put up the link so that you can see it. I think I'll copy it later and paste it in the chat group. So you can Google Corey Neves and look at his story. Corey was living, or is living in the United States of America. Of course, he's a Black American. And when he was about 6 years old, that's when his story started. But effectively around 10 years old, what happened to him? He was living with his mom, and they were not well to do. They were just surviving. And he was just pushed. You know, the way you are, he saw that his mom was struggling. She was doing everything possible to help them. But I think they were just standing outside one day waiting for the bus, because his mom could not afford a car, and it was raining, and it does get very cold in the US when in the winter and it is raining. And his mom was uncomfortable and he himself was uncomfortable. And Corey was, I think he was around 10 years old at that time. And he just had that urge. The same way all of us, even at that age, we have that urge that, no, I need to do something about it. And he felt, no, I should make money for my mommy and I should get her a car. At 10 years old, that seems very incredible, but God gives all of us ideas at different ages. And he got that idea to get a car for his mom. And I thought, okay, the way you know you have that push, that urge, let me start selling something. And he started selling chocolate drinks. I think he was selling it for about $1 per cup or something like that. When you Google the story, you can see it properly. And from there, he sensed that this is not going very well. Let me look for something else that is unique, that will make a lot more money. Remember what I've told you guys about teenagers that are doing clothing line that always come up. What is unique about it? Why should people follow it? Why should I buy your clothing line when I have a polo that is a known brand without thinking I know their quality? At this age, all of those principles I was telling you guys, Corey actually did it. You know what Corey did? He was searching for a perfect recipe. He thought about it that, okay, perhaps people like eating sweets. Maybe he has been seeing his friends. Everybody just loves sweets, chocolates, and all of that. And he felt, okay, which one can I do that I can push and keep on selling to them and not be begging them that, please buy for me, please, no. You know, the way that people are just buying for pity. No. At that age, he started searching for what is the perfect recipe to making a cookie. And he searched for it. I think he searched for it for 3 months. And he was experimenting, he and his mommy, they were experimenting in his mom's kitchen. Until after 3 months, they got a perfect one that they could use. And what did they do? They started targeting local races and festivals. That's where a lot of people come together and they are just testing different things. You get the big sales that teenagers, children do. and all of that. And they targeted those audience, and he started selling and pushing his cookies. And he was using a pitch: life is too short to not eat a cookie. So, just shouting it. People are passing by, life is too short not to eat a cookie. And people were passing by and they were buying his cookie. But why did this succeed? It succeeded because, remember, they searched for information. They searched for the perfect cookie recipe before they got to the festival. So you can see all of those points we are talking about: ideas, critical mindsets, your perspective, selling, identifying your audience. And that is where it started from. They started doing this from that race and those outdoor sales. Later, people started sending them orders to the extent that he and his mom could not meet up with the others anymore. When the TV stations got to know about him, they invited him. He was on Opera TV. And because of that publicity, he got cash infusion. People were ready to invest in his business. All of this started from his mom's kitchen. And it all started with an idea. What are those lessons? Starting where you are with what you have, that is critical. I will tell you guys one of the big challenges you have when, and I acknowledge that, and I believe I'll get to that, is that when you're staying around.
Pastor Ayo, 10 minutes more.
Okay, thank you, sir. When you're in an environment where everything seems challenging, it might be difficult to see what you can use. But trust me, one of the good things that God has done is that there's never a time when you don't have something, no matter how little it is. Somebody has given us an idea. For example, I think it was 2 years ago in a Navigate. She stays in an estate, and one of the ideas she saw is that she stays in an estate where there are older people. Of course, she's a teenager, so you know the story I'm talking about is a teenager. There are older people, they go to the office and they have dogs, and they don't typically walk their dogs, or it's a lot of difficulty. Like for me, before this lockdown, when I go to the office, I leave home about 6, I come back around 10. If I have a dog at home, how do I walk that dog? I'll be tired. I'll have to do it anyway. But if I can find someone that help me to do it and clean the dog, I will appreciate it. And she saw that opportunity and she started knocking on their doors. Let me help you take care of your dog. And she will charge, I don't know, 5,000 per month. That's an idea. What did she do? She doesn't need any equipment. The leash for the dog, they will provide it. The food for the dog, they will provide it. If she needs to clean up the dogs, they will provide it. So what is she doing? She's just a teenager that has time. And she's using her time to help people. And she's getting paid for it. From there, she can build it into a business, start employing other people, train other teenagers, multiply it in different estates and make money. So starting with what you have is important. Growth. Acquire knowledge and seek opportunities. I talked about Corey, that he started with selling chocolates, but he saw that was not moving well, and he started looking for something more. I wish we had the time, but I want you guys to research on Amazon. Amazon, that is such a big company today, it started by, I think, selling books, physical books, and gradually to digital books, and now they are just selling everything everywhere in the world. You must grow. And how do you grow? All those foundations I've talked, your perspective, acquiring information, very, very important. The right type of information, being critical, asking questions, and being flexible. Don't hold on to one idea. That's one thing business people do very well. They hold on to an idea until the point it launches them into something bigger. That's one of the points you must hold. Don't hold on to one idea that no, I'm not letting go of this. The world might move along, so you need to move on. I'll move on very quickly because they said we have little time. But if you have any comments, let me see if there are any comments on that. Please just do send your comments as I'm going along. I'll hope to be able to point to get back before the end. So a dream without a goal is not a dream. It's an incomplete dream. So thank you, all of that. And we will get to that very soon. All right. So what was the next point then? What's the next point? How do you get ideas? So I've given a lot of foundation, but how do you get ideas based on all of those things and the case study of Corey that was seen? Some important points to learn from all of those things. How do you get ideas? It starts first of all by identifying the needs and wants around you. Remember what I said about TikTok, about Instagram. It's because they identified a need. My friends that are doing t-shirts, is it a need or their own desire? So that's two different things. You must look at what do people need, not what you desire. That's two different things. What do people need? What do I desire? That's two different things. What people need is the critical thing. So that's listening to customers, listen to your potential customers. Even when you start a business, listen to who are your customers. Keep on, remember all of the things I've said about asking questions. Keep on asking questions. And that's how you know what you need people to do. Solving a problem for people. I talked about the teenager that started a dog walking company in our estates. Solving a problem, that helps. So sometimes it might actually be when you yourself have a problem. And then you think about it. If I have this problem, my friends have the problem. Their friends' friends have the problem. Their friends' friends have the problem. Even their enemies have the problem. That is an opportunity. Next, your competition, your potential competition. Everybody has competition. It's only God that doesn't have competition because it takes out his competition. Your competition, what are they currently doing? The businesses you are looking at doing, what is currently being done there? Think about it. Can I do it better? Is there a gap that cannot be met? I'll give you guys a very simple idea that also makes sense. Wherever you see queues, there's an idea, there's an opportunity. Who likes queuing up? I sure do not like queuing. I'm sure you guys who do not like queuing. If you see a queue, think about it. You go to a food mart and people are queuing for 1 hour. That is an opportunity. That's how to spot opportunities. So that shows that there's a lot more people asking for that solution more than the people available to meet it. You get that? So if there's an unmet need, that's also an opportunity. What next? Your strengths and skills, the things you can do easily that people cannot do. You can sing, you can dance, you like pets, like my friend I talked about, and other people don't have it naturally. That's an opportunity because there are not a lot of people can do it, and you can do that. Learning from others. I've shared the story of Corey. So if you Google him, I think the site that I pulled this particular story from is entrepreneur.com, I believe. You see a lot of other stories, or just Google teenager entrepreneur. Look at the businesses they are doing. And from there, you learn. You travel to a different country. You travel into a different city. You see them doing something differently there. Think about it. How can I apply this where I live, where I go to school? That is how to get an idea. The final one is a very difficult one because it's not easy to be able to do, because that comes from a lot of information, knowing how to analyze, how to project, is thinking about the future trend. What will people need in the future? What is happening now? How will it happen in the future? That is not easy, but God can still give you that idea as well. And that is how to spot ideas. So the final place we will land today, which is your assignment, is you guys, based on what I've said, to yourself, I want you to do all these assignments. So please just take a screenshot, write this down. During the week, we'll discuss it. By next week, I'm hoping that we'll be able to form groups together, because the plan is that we'll form different groups and you guys will implement it. But for this week, I want you guys to write this down, and I will give the details in the WhatsApp chat group on how you should submit this. So think about 5 business ideas using all the points that I've talked about. Think about 5 business ideas. Out of that 5, select the best one. Justify that, give the reason why you think it is the good idea, the best one out of that. Think about all the things you need to turn that idea into a big business. So from as little as the business idea is, think about, okay, if I want to grow it into, first of all, just a small office, into a big building, into becoming a global business that is meeting everybody. And once you are thinking about that, you start realizing what are the problems and challenges I will face. So I want you guys to do this, and that will form the basis of our discussion next week. All right, so let me see. I've seen the chats buzzing. Let me try and get into that now.
Yeah, Florence said she has written 3 books, and she doesn't know how to publish it. There's been an idea on the, idea going out to her to assist her. But I think most importantly, some of us are not in the Teenpreneur WhatsApp group. So you may need to speak to that one also.
Okay. If you're not in the Teenpreneur WhatsApp group, can you provide your phone number, please? Before we go, just send it privately to Uncle Okwe right away, because we'll be sharing a lot of information on the group. Please provide your phone number, and let's do that. All right. So
I know you guys are enjoying the class, but I'm shutting it down.
Okay, I already rounded up. We are rounding up. All right. So guys, are there any quick questions? I believe we've answered all of them, but please send your phone numbers so that we can continue the discussion on WhatsApp. Remember the assignments, work on all those business ideas. We'll continue the conversation. And if there are any questions, think about them. You can also send them on the WhatsApp chats.
Excuse me. I have a question.
All right.
Oh.
Who has a question?
Hi, Florence.
Florence. Hi, Florence. Okay, what's your question?
My question is, I'm a very good dancer. I don't have a studio, and I really want to have a studio.
Okay. So based on, so I didn't get the last question.
I said I dance very well, but I don't have a studio. I want to have a studio where I can train other people to dance very well.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Florence, because they might shut it down very soon, do you want to send a DM? Just, are you on the WhatsApp group? I think I've seen you on the WhatsApp group. Okay. You can send that on the WhatsApp group to me privately, onto Uncle Okwe or Auntie Fidelia, and we will answer that. But as I said, based on all we've learned today, think about that as well. How do you start from where you are?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Ayo. How are we going to remain in touch all through next week? How do we stay in touch? At what points do we reach out to each other? I know the WhatsApp group is not open 24/7. It opens during a particular window. Can you throw more light on how we stay in touch between today and next week, 4 p.m. on Saturday?
Okay, so all of that will be sent on the WhatsApp group. We are agreeing that within the next few hours. So please, what we want is that everybody should join the WhatsApp group. We'll be doing a lot of the other conversations on the WhatsApp group. So every morning, I will send a question or a case study. I want you guys to look at it and you give me a response, and we can discuss it during the day or a particular time of the day. So the WhatsApp group will not be open throughout the day. We will tell you the hours within which time it will be open so that we can discuss that. So remember, we are all like CEOs, and CEOs don't just keep on chatting from morning till night. They define their time. So you guys who are CEOs, you are going to give me an appointment and we are going to meet the appointment together. That's the way businesses are run, and that's the way we'll handle it. So please send your number right away. Uncle Kwe, please, are you getting all the numbers? Let's get them.
Yeah, I pasted my phone number on the group, on the Zoom chat, so you can send me a DM after this meeting, in case you don't want to send your number to the whole group.
Okay. All right. So if there are no other questions, I think we today's class has come to an end. I'm just picking up.
Please, before we go, can we give Uncle Ayo a round of applause? Give him a hand clap. I enjoyed the class. I hope every one of us did, because I did enjoy the class. Please give him a round of applause. I want to see it coming. Send it on the chat box. Yeah, Uncle Ayo, thank you so much. That was an amazing session. I learned a lot myself. So I want to say thank you to everyone who joined the class today. Everybody, your questions, your suggestions. It's been an interesting time. So let's keep the spirit high. Let's keep it alive. We'll keep interacting every day. Like Pastor Ayo said, there'll be questions coming up every morning, either a question or a case study. Look out for it, think about it, and send in your responses when the window opens. So let's keep the buzz going, and then come with your questions every day. Any question you have, throw it out and let's discuss it. So I wish all of you the best of the weekend until we gather again, 4 p.m., same link, and then we'll continue the conversation.
Yep. Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. So we have some continues tomorrow. Remember to dial in for our Sunday service, 10 a.m. See you. Bye.
I fixed them. I finished them. It was so nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done, Teenpreneur. Well done, guys.
Thank you, our Vice Chancellor.
Please send me the slides because I missed most of the class.
Okay.
Pastor Ayo was on fire.
That's not in doubt. I had no doubts whatsoever about that.
Oh, Kola, thank you so much. Thank you. So, all right. So we'll continue our chats on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Thank you, Auntie Fidelia and Uncle Okwe, for helping to coordinate.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.